Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Political Expert doing a quick mock draft of the complete first round. I've seen a lot of people doing it, so I'm going to try to get through these as fast as I can, trying to keep this under at least 20 minutes, so I'm going to get through these first rounds. Let's start it off. I have Browns taking Myles Garrett. Let's just be honest, he's going to be the best player to come out of this draft. Hopefully he can be that go-to guy to build the Cleveland Browns franchise, but one or two things are going to happen. I believe he's going to have an okay year, possibly wait to free agency to go somewhere to be a big-time player. Or he could just be another Browns player that flutters off, but who knows. San Francisco, I have taken Solomon Thomas, defensive end. San Francisco went out and got Brian Hoyer. It looks like he may be the answer for now and not a quarterback coming out of the draft, unless Kirk Cousins is out there, but I believe they're going to take Solomon Thomas. Same goes for Chicago. I got him with the third pick, taking Jamal Adams, strong safety. They went out and they got Mike Glennon. He looks like he's going to be the guy for now, so there's no need to take a quarterback. But then it gets really messed up. This is where I start throwing everybody off. I have Jacksonville taking Leonard Fournette as a running back. So this is the second year now where a running back has gone in the number 4 spot. And I believe it's going to be Leonard Fournette. He's just the best running back on the board, and that offense needs something to go, and I think that's Leonard Fournette. Tennessee, I got them taking Malik Hooker, safety. Jabril Peppers was up there for a long time until they started realizing that he doesn't know exactly what he wants to play, but he keeps saying safety. So Tennessee's going to take Malik Hooker, and that's the best safety on the board besides Jamal Adams. Jets take Marshawn Lattimore with the departure of Darrelle Revis. You guys need somebody to fill in that slot. I know it's rebuilding stages, so what's where you rebuild from? You start at the cornerbacks. You start working a little bit on that backfield, and then you start working on that offense. You know, that's just how it's got to be. Rebuilding stage. Going to be a lot of first early picks for the Jets in a couple years. Chargers. I got Chargers taking 7. Sorry. Chargers, I have them taking Deshaun Watson, quarterback. This is going to be an interesting pick. A lot of people are saying O-line for the Chargers, but I know that there's not really a lot of good O-line, and Chargers are looking into the future right now, and I believe if the Chargers see a Deshaun Watson on the board at the number 7 spot, knowing that, Philip Rivers is 35 years old and he's probably going to be in the league for a couple more years, I do have the Chargers taking Deshaun Watson. Number 8, I have, 8, Carolina. I'm sorry. Carolina, I have them taking Derek Barnett, defensive end. They were looking to get Solomon Thomas, but now I guess San Francisco's going to take them, so I think they're going to take the next pass rusher that's available, and that's Derek Barnett. And number... Wait, am I throwing myself off? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. The Bills, 10th pick. Sorry, my apologies. I have them taking Garon Conley. He's a cornerback. They lost Stephon Gilmore. They're going to have to fill that slot up real quick with somebody. And he's the next available good cornerback besides Bentley. But I think they're going to take Conley. With the 11th pick, the Saints, I have them taking Christian McCaffrey. Now, I know you're all wondering why would they take him and not a linebacker. At the same time, Mark Ingram hasn't fluttered the way he is. Tim Hightower's a little older, and they just lost Brandon Cooks. They don't really have a weapon on that team anymore except Michael Thomas. And at the same time, Mark Ingram isn't the running back they need. Tim Hightower's a little older, and they're going to need some help besides Drew Brees throwing the ball 80 times a game. Right after that is the Bills with the 12th pick. I have them taking DeShone Kizer. Why are they not taking Trubisky? I don't know why. But I feel like they think that they can win with Kizer because he's been up there a few times. Even though most people are saying, well, if Mitch Trubisky's not going, then they're going to take him. They very well could, but I believe that they want Kizer more than they do Mitch Trubisky, which is going to be very interesting to see how that works out with that pick. But I do believe either Mitch Trubisky or Kaiser will go in that one. And then I have the Cardinals with the 13th pick, taking Reuben Foster, linebacker. They don't really have. They lost a lot of defense this year. I believe they're going to. Believe they're going to take Reuben Foster. He's the best available. Most people are saying Mike Williams, wide receiver, but I think just because they lost a lot of defense this year, they're going to have to gain a lot of defense back. I'm not 100% sure. I forgot the number of these, but I think the Bengals are the next pick. I have them taking. Sorry, I have them taking Malik McDowell, defensive end. Pass rushing is really a big key for the Bengals right now. Geno Atkins is the only one on that line right now. I don't think Malik is the best defensive tackle, but I believe he's going to be up there. Others are saying Jonathan Allen too. I forgot Jonathan Allen on here, but I put him next to the Bengals and Jonathan Allen. So one of those two. I think Jonathan Allen may go, but I do believe they like a bigger guy that can structure and not really want to take over reins. So I have the Eagles taking Tre'Davious White, cornerback. Their main concern is defense. Offense is fine. They could use a running back, but they just signed Turbin to a new contract, so I think he's going to take over if Gore decides to show age like he has been. But I think the Eagles are going to take Tre'Davious White to make sure that defense is 100% helpful with Carson Wentz controlling the offense. The Colts taking the first offensive guard off the board. I got him taking Forrest Lamp. There's huge talks of them liking him to fit on the right side, which is needed and improved. But that would be the first O-lineman to be taken. Ravens, this is very interesting because a lot of people are saying John Ross because they need a wide receiver. But I don't think so. I think the Ravens need to get back to that defense that they were. So I have them taking Charles Harris, a pass rusher, so they can work on that defense the way it was because that defense is so bad. And they just let go of Dumerville, I think it was. But I believe that they're just readjusting. I think the only two guys in there that defense is worth keeping and talking about is Jimmy Smith, I believe his name is, and Weddle. And Weddle's 32. So they need to start working on that defense again, and I think that's why they're going to take Charles Harris instead of a wide receiver. This is where it gets really interesting. So I have the Redskins taking Jabril Peppers, but I have him under here as a linebacker. Now, I believe that they could move him to safety, but I know he's too small, but I believe that the Redskins are going to draft him just for the linebacker purposes, just because he plays the nickel very well, and that's what the Redskins love to play, the nickel defense. They love that linebacker spot that's fast and can get around the offensive lineman quicker, and that's going to be Jabril Peppers, which will be interesting. Tennessee, I have them taking Corey Davis. I know he's not the best wide receiver here, but I do believe they're going to take Corey Davis. They need to get some weapons for Mariota. So that's what's going to happen. Bucks take the next picks. I'm probably going to screw this one up too. But I have them taking Chidobe Awuzie. He's a cornerback. Like I said, they do need defensive help. So I believe that they're going to take defense here with the cornerback. Denver, I have another offensive tackle going right now. I have Cam Robinson, offensive tackle, going to Denver. They tremendously need O-line help. And they did absolutely nothing in the free agency, and that's why I believe they're going to draft O-lineman. People are saying they're going to draft O.J. Howard. I don't even have him in the first round, which is tremendously interesting. But most people are going to hate me for that, especially Bama fans, even though I hate Bama. But I have Cam Robinson going. That's what I've got. And then on to my Detroit Lions. Hoop, hoop. I have them taking Hassan Reddick, defensive end from Temple. we were trying to look at Charles Harris, but it looks like Charles Harris may go to the Ravens to build that defense back up. So I have Charles Riddick taking defensive end. Yep, so that's what's about to happen. Actually, I screwed this up. I have O.J. Howard written down right here. I'm not all here today. But I have Miami taking O.J. Howard as a tight end. They really need a big-time target. And Kenny Stills is not the guy. Devontae Parker, it looks like they're really starting to regret taking that pick. And Jarvis Landry's just, he's a really good punt returner, but that's about it. So I have them here taking O.J. Howard, the tight end. And then I have Oakland taking John Ross, speedster John Ross. I know that they don't really need another wide receiver, but they could use a wide receiver in the slot for a deep threat to open up Cooper and Crabtree a lot more, for Carr to have a lot more fun against defenses. Texans. Most people have Mitch Trubisky here if he doesn't go at all and he decides to drop. But I beg to differ. I have Garrett Boyles, offensive guard, going to the Texans. They need a lot more O-line help. Lamar Miller needs to get into the goal line touchdowns because he got shut down pretty much all last year. All he was the yards guy. He never was a touchdown guy last year. So I think they're going to take a guard here. Seattle, I haven't taken Kevin King's cornerback. It's a huge need right now with this Seattle's defense. They need somebody to help out Sherman. They've lost too much to help out Sherman. Who is that? Sorry, I'm looking at my handwriting. That's awful. Chiefs. I have the Chiefs taking Dalvin Cook, running back. This is where Dalvin Cook's going to fall. He's going to be Jamal Charles 2.0. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Jamal Charles, but they're hoping he will be the next Jamal Charles because I don't believe that they trust Spencer Ware too much, even though he was remained the starter. But there was a lot of flusters and there was a lot of question on if they were going to take a running back in this draft. And it looks like there's a lot of rumors that they are going to take a running back in this draft, which makes me believe they don't trust Spencer Ware. That's where I believe that Dalvin Cook's going to fall to them. Now, I have the Cowboys taking a tight end. Now, most people would sit there and say David Nkujo, I think his name is, Nkuo. But I believe they're going to take Jake Butt because he reminds me a lot of like a Greg Olsen, Jason Witten type of guy. He's not as big as Jason Witten, but he's as big as Greg Olsen. He's a younger version. He can sit behind Jason Witten for a year or two, or just a year after he retires, and he's got a younger quarterback who can build off of him. I believe this is a sexy pick for the Cowboys. Even though I hate the Cowboys, this would be a sexy pick if I was a Cowboys fan. I'd be a little excited knowing that I'm going to get a new tight end with my brand new quarterback, my brand new running back, and Dez Bryant. It's just over. Since they lost Galvin Escobar, even though I didn't believe he was going to be the next big thing. Green Bay, I have them taking Taco Charlton, defensive end. There's a lot of defensive ends that are in this class. But I have Taco Charlton, defensive end, going to Green Bay. Michigan boy, which kills me to go to Green Bay. But they do need some more defensive pass rushers on that team. Their front four is just dreadful. They lost Julius Pepper, so they need somebody who can get after the ball. I have the Steelers taking Mike Williams. Now, I know a lot of you are like, well, Mike Williams is better than Corey Davis. Why isn't Corey Davis going to Tennessee? Mike Williams is just bigger. He's a little slower. And the Steelers love Clemson wide receivers. Come on, man. Let's just be honest, okay? They went out and they got Martavis Bryant, and he was kind of a bust. But now I think they're going to go out and try to go get Mike Williams, knowing that he's clean and stuff like that. And then I have the Falcons taking T.J. Watt, linebacker, for the Falcons, taking T.J. Watt. They lost a couple linebackers in free agency. They could use another pass rusher, especially on the outside. I believe T.J. Watt's going to go in the first round. He showed really good promise in the combine. And then with the last pick is the Saints now because the Patriots traded away. I had the Saints taking. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to save that because I just missed somebody, and that was the Giants. I have them taking David Nakujo. That's why Jake Butt was there, and I totally messed that up. I'm sorry. But Giants taking David Nakujo. If somebody can tell me that I pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. But that's why I have the Cowboys taking Jake Butt. Giants need help in the passing. Another big, sexy pick for the Giants. That would be good. But lastly, and not least, I have the Saints taking a serious threat. And I have them taking Mitch Trubisky, quarterback, with the last pick. Now, you're probably wondering why they would do that and not another defensive player or an offensive line player. And I'm going to tell you why. Drew Brees is 38 years old. He showed that he's very weak and he can get hurt. And at the same time, they look into the future. They got rid of Brandon Cooks. They brought in this kid, Michael Thomas. And, they can draft Christian McCaffrey in the 11th pick and they can go get Trubisky. You have a running back, a quarterback, and a wide receiver that are young that you can build around. And Mitch Trubisky can sit behind Drew Brees for a year or two. And they have a quarterback then. This was just a mess. This was the first mock draft I've ever done for anybody to hear what I think is going to happen. It was not that successful. I have to say I kind of failed. Give myself like a 70 out of 100%. But if there's any picks here that you guys disagree with me on, I'm more than welcome to have a conversation. And you could try to talk me out of, your team picking this player because you believe that you can go get this player early or yada, yada, yada. But I believe that's how it's going to happen. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please subscribe, comment, let me know what you need to do. I'm going to set up a Twitter account pretty soon so you guys can talk to me live instead of just trying to bust out the comments constantly. You guys have a safe, great day.